Hello, everyone. This is an Information Ecology at Richland College library presentation by me, Amanda Crook. This is my first time using Google Slides, and there were several moments throughout the creation of having to search Google on how to do something. Overall, I think I may keep using Google Slides instead of PowerPoint in the future. What do you need to know about Richland College? It is located in Dallas, Texas. It is part of 7 community colleges that form the Dallas County Community College District, or DCCD. Try saying that 5 times fast. Each college is currently credentialed separately, but in the very near future, the colleges will all be under one credential of DCCD, and you can bet that will impact how the library is run. Richland College is the largest of the 7 colleges, which in this case also means the most income generated. The student population consists of credit students, early college high school students, dual credit students, RCHS students, and CE students. The students highlighted in blue are all high school students. There are 25,000 students at Richland College, 20,000 of which are credit and 5,000 of which are CE or non-credit students, and there are over 300 staff and faculty that work there. The following statistical information is based only on credit students. While I would have liked to include the statistics of the entire student population, I could only find statistics on credit. Unfortunately, CE student information is not documented as much since they are non-credit. It would have also been nice to have staff and faculty statistics since they are also users of the library, but I will work with what I have. I will also say applying APA citing for the information to come was a struggle for me, and I'm still not 100% convinced I have it correct. The data I used isn't mine, but the graphs I created were mine. So how much information was I supposed to use in the citations? Well, I think I got it right, but please provide feedback if you see something wrong. The gender divide at Richland is almost equal, with slightly more female than male students. Unsurprisingly, credit students make up a majority of the population at 65%. 1 in 5 students are CE students, and around 1 in 7 students are in high school but taking college credit classes at Richland's campus, and the high school population continues to grow each year. My favorite part about Richland's campus is the diversity. There are 79 languages spoken and 130 countries represented on campus. That's 67% of the world's countries present in one college. And almost 1 in 10 students are from a foreign country. I think the statistics would be even higher if CE students were included. As I said, Richland is very diverse, which is reflective of the surrounding community. We have a minority as a majority on campus, with Hispanics at around 1 in 3 students, Anglos 1 in 4 students, African Americans 1 in 5 students, and Asians 1 in 7 students. Let's get into the finances. Over half of our students use financial aid or grants to pay for classes. Again, I think the amount would be higher if CE students were included. As you can see from this graph, many of Richland students live in poverty or low-income households. I know you want more statistics, but we are moving on. So what does this all mean in regards to the Richland Library as an information ecology? Well, for starters, it means that the library is an invaluable resource to our students that are low income or in poverty. Can't afford a textbook? Borrow one at the library. Don't have a computer at home? Use the one in the library. Don't have data on your phone? Use the library's Wi-Fi. Second, there's a significant amount of high school students on campus, and it continues to grow. This could potentially change how the library functions. There's a reason why academic and school libraries are different areas of expertise. With the increase of high school students, does the library need to become more of a blended school and academic library? Are the high school students a positive or negative influence on the library? We'll get to that later in the SWOT analysis. Finally, as you already know, Richland is a very diverse and culturally rich campus. It is so important that our students feel represented when they go to the library and that they are able to find materials written by authors they know and identify with. We have several students that have been displaced and are refugees here in Dallas. Imagine what it must feel like for them to be able to go to the library and find a book from their home country or find empowering research articles from someone of their nationality. Or the student that is feeling ostracized by friends and family for their sexual orientation. LGBTQ books and authors are equally important. In addition, those that may not experience displacement or ostracization will be able to read and find out how classmates or fellow colleagues may be feeling and open doors to meaningful discussions. Now we'll get into the Information and Communication Technology or ICT inventory. For me, this was the hardest part of the presentation. Was I including everything? Did I include something that doesn't fall under the ICT category? My lack of knowledge about the credit side of the house and having never worked before in a library also affected my ability to discern who used what and for what purposes. Here's a list of ICT's tools that I was able to find at the Richland Library. There are the usual suspects such as email and computers, along with more specific programs like Alma or Oasis. I broke this down the best way I could. Patrons, which include students, faculty, and staff, use the most ICT products, which makes sense since everything in the library is geared towards the patrons besides the internal-facing technologies. Students mainly use the library for academic purposes. Thus, much of the ICT products are targeted towards this population with numerous databases, intra-campus and library loan systems, research guides, and much more. However, the library Facebook, blog, and Pinterest are great ways to find out about non-academic activities occurring in the library, like therapy dogs or the human library. I think the staff would use the library for more leisurely purposes, perhaps not utilizing the databases or Noodle tools so much, but rather the online catalog, suggest an item, renew online, and Facebook. Faculty probably would use the same products as students for demonstration purposes, lessons, and personal research. Outsiders that do not have any affiliation with the campus are allowed to use the library. They are limited to 2 hours of computer time per day and can check out books if they have the tech share card. These patrons are more likely to use the computers, Wi-Fi, printers, and email for their own personal needs. Library staff, of course, assist users with everything listed under the patron category. The library staff use Alma as their integrated library system, and they use Oasis for purchasing. Now we'll dive into the SWOT analysis. This was an interesting area as again, I thought there were some points that I was missing, but wasn't sure what. I had a discussion with the librarian at Richland, Amy Ferguson, about the SWOT assessment and the observations I made compared to her own experiences. The staff are a huge strength in terms of experience and diversity. The library building itself is aesthetically pleasing and has much to offer. The fact that all 7 colleges share some of their library finances means that they are able to purchase more databases and better software than if they were a standalone library. The different departments at Richland are able to spend money on the library as well. For instance, the engineering department bought a database they specifically wanted when the library was unable to do so. Now all of Richland students can benefit from this database. The diversity on campus means diversity in the library. The library evolves with the students and strives to offer them the materials and technologies they need to help them in their studies and fun activities that are reflective of the student population. Accessibility has become a hot topic on campus. And all departments, including the library, are doing everything they can to make sure all materials are accessible to all students regardless of physical or mental limitations. The library has an outreach program that has evolved to become a council that has made significant strides in connecting with students. Library activities are some of the favorite events on campus, including multicultural read-ins, late nights at the library, puzzles, therapy dogs, and the human library. The library also conducts off-campus library workshops at the local high schools, specifically for dual credit students. The library and librarians are presented with new reforms and policies from district laws or the college itself, and the librarians excel at adapting to the new mandates. The library also adapts as the student population changes and technology advances. Now let's talk about the weaknesses. Some, you'll notice, were also strengths. There is a massive lack of space in the library and across campus. The lack of space means the library isn't able to create a makerspace. They can't build much needed additional group study rooms, and they can't add more computers, which if they had the space, district would be willing to pay for. The general lack of funds is unsurprising. The library would like to be able to purchase more programs, databases, and technological components, but are unable to do so due to lack of funds. In fact, funds have remained steady, which is great that they aren't decreasing, but bad in that while the library funds are consistent, the price of materials and technology increases with each year. The shared finances with all colleges is also a weakness. The libraries cannot buy a database even if they have the funds. Instead, it must be voted on by all 7 colleges. Found a database you would like to purchase but didn't get enough votes? You'll have to try again another time. The district control also tends to slow things down. Cataloging is completed at the district office, meaning if there are any mistakes in the catalogs, it takes a long time to correct, and the district office is handling the cataloging for 7 libraries. Purchasing by individual libraries is processed at the district office, meaning it can take weeks to receive a shipment that would have taken half the time if the libraries cataloged and processed their own shipments. Printing is also controlled by district, and the processes for setting up a printing account for students is long and tedious since district changed the systems for printing. Now says students must have one login for the computers and another for the printers. A staff member must now be used solely as a printing expertise instead of being able to help in other areas. There are some exciting opportunities the libraries can tap into. The library can take more advantage of the other departments on campus, partnering with the Multicultural Center to create cultural events, seeking advice from the Disability Center on how to make materials accessible, have marketing do more, marketing for the library, or like the engineering department did, see if departments are willing to purchase databases for the library. The makerspace is an opportunity that is much wanted but put on hold until more space can be made available. High school students could be an opportunity to share research techniques early in their academic careers and get them used to going to the library for their needs. It is an opportunity to show them how important libraries are and the support they provide. The widespread use of student IDs makes it easier and faster during checkout. Since textbooks will automatically be included in the student tuition, this means more space will be freed up in the library that used to house textbooks. The plethora of accessibility checkers and trainings that have come out and being offered to employees means better accessibility for our students. Technology is always an opportunity. As technology advances, the opportunities to create more accessible content increases, and access to even more materials and ideas is flourishing. Activities and trainings that the library provides can be positively impacted by technological advances. The threats that the library faces include funding and budget cuts. Since the library is a public institution, it relies on government funds, and these could change at any time. The negative perceptions of libraries as impractical and obsolete is a dangerous one. If lawmakers feel that libraries are unnecessary, then it will be reflected in the funding given to libraries, and students will be discouraged from going to a place they view as useless. The high school students are also seen as a threat. The librarians are unsure of how their increased number will affect the library and the materials and technology they will need to provide. There is concern over their college readiness, age, and maturity levels. The high school students also mean less space on campus for credit classes and students, or the possibility of a library expansion in the near future. DCCCD becoming one accreditation means even more control over the libraries from people that are not on the campus day to day. The best people to decide what is needed at Richland Library are those that are on campus and interact with students daily, not someone that works in a different location and that rarely visits. You may wonder how all of this makes the Richland College an information ecology. The librarians work together to provide our students the best experience possible on campus. The library works to make sure their materials are accessible, which is possible through the use of various technologies. The library values research, learning, and diversity, which is reflected in the materials and activities provided. If a student needs help with research, a librarian can direct them to one of the numerous databases we have available or show them how to search them all. Then the student can use Noodle tools to create their bibliography and email the librarian with any additional questions they may have. Another student may see a Facebook post about the human library and decide they would like to become a human book and share their experience with transitioning from male to female. The Multicultural Center also may partner with the library to host a read-in, where students can read aloud from books from their home countries. All of the activities and technologies at the Richland Library foster an environment of exploration, acceptance, and learning.